there. And what we're going to be talking about today is unblocking by declarer, discarding by declarer, various situations where there are some hands that require some tricky play by declarer. And let's start with this one, where you open one spade, there's a 2 diamond overcall, and your partner takes you to 4 spades, which ends the bidding. And down comes dummy, and you stop to make your plan. Now, this is actually a hand that was played online a year or so ago. And when it was played, no one made 4 spades on this. Nearly everyone was in 4 spades, but everyone went down. So let's see if we can improve on that. And when you're playing in a suit contract, I normally like to start off by counting my losers from the point of view of the hand with the long trumps, but taking into account all the strength in the other hand. And if I do that on this hand, North has actually got more trumps than South. So I'm going to look at it from North's point of view initially and try and look at how many potential losers I've got. Well, unfortunately, I've got 3 diamond losers, and it looks like the opponents are going to take those. And I've also got some heart losers here. I have 2 potential heart losers. So that's not very good news. The other thing you can sometimes do, and it may help you find the right line of play, is to work out how many top tricks you have looking at the 2 hands together. So in other words, this is what we would do if we were playing in no trump. As well as counting your losers, try and count how many winners you have. And I'd like you to do that on this hand. And I'm going to launch in a poll in a moment. And the question is going to be, how many top tricks does declarer have here, counting the North and the South hands together? So take a minute, count up your top tricks, and I'm going to launch a poll on this. Okay, I'm just going to end the poll and share the results with you. And most of you, 67%, have gone for 10, with 24% going for 8 and 10% going for 9. Well, let's have a look at that. We have 5 spades there. We have 1 heart. We have no diamonds, and we have 4 clubs. To take 4 clubs needs a bit of careful handling of the clubs, but we do definitely have 4 club tricks. So yes, I agree with those of you, 67%, who said you have 10 top tricks here. And yet no one managed 10 tricks when this hand was played. But if you think about it, you just need to make 4 clubs, and that will provide all the tricks you need, together with your 1 heart and 5 spades. So how are we going to play this? Well, they take the first 3 diamonds. And I don't know, I sometimes see people get very despondent when this happens, that the opponents, start off with 3 diamonds and they think, oh my God, we're in the wrong contract. But this contract is not hard to make, as long as you remember you need to take 4 club tricks here. So if they take 3 diamonds and then shift to a heart, you can't afford to lose any more tricks here. So you need to go up with the ace. And the next thing we're going to do is draw trumps, but we just need to be careful to make sure that we have an entry to the South hand, because we'll need that entry later on to take all 4 clubs. So this is all about thinking about your entries, thinking in advance. So I've got, let's see, 9 trump. I'm going to draw those in probably 2 or 3 rounds, but I'm going to start off with the king. Okay, everyone's followed to that. And then I'll play another one and West discard. So that's 7 trump gone. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 1 more outstanding, and I will be able to draw that. And then I want to cash the clubs. Now, I've still got 2 entries here to the South end, so I can actually just draw the last trump, and then I'm going to play the clubs, and I'll play the queen and the jack first. And as long as I've kept an entry to the south hand, the queen of spades, I can take the last two clubs there. Okay, and I end up discarding the hearts on that, and I make my 10 tricks. So you've got, as I said, 10 tricks there. Or the other way to think about it in terms of your losers is, as I remember you said you had 2 heart losers, but you can discard both of those hearts on the ace and king of clubs. So that's the other way you can plan this hand. Do it whichever way you find easiest to do. But if you find counting your losers tricky, then counting your winners is often a good option as well. Any questions on that one? Let's have a look at another one. And I'm going to start with a bidding question on this one. You open 1 spade here. Your partner responds 2 hearts. And the question is, what do you think North should rebid here? So have a little think, count your points, count your losers if you like. Here. And we've got a very varied selection there. Top vote went for 4 hearts, 29%. And then quite a lot of people said 2 spades. In fact, all of the responses got some votes there. But the top ones were 4 hearts, 3 hearts, and 2 spades. Let's have a look and see what we think. Well, the important thing to remember is that a 2 heart response to 1 spade promises a 5 card suit. And that was something I mentioned in the talk yesterday. It's the only time that bidding a new suit in response to one of the suit promises a 5 card suit. So if you trust your partner's bidding, they have 10 points or so, and a 5 card suit. So you have a fit in hearts, and I would support my partner's hearts. Here I've got 16 points. So if they have 10 points, I think I'll go to 4 hearts. Yeah, 4 hearts would be my top choice there, perhaps followed by 3 hearts. But 3 hearts is not forcing bid, and your partner might well pass that. So yeah, 4 hearts is, I think, the right bid there. 2 spades is definitely not right, really, because that would show more like 12 to 15 points. You're a bit strong for that. 3 spades is not right either, because that would typically show a 6 card suit. But 4 hearts is pretty good there. So let's have a look at this one. And you bid 4 hearts, and that ends the auction, and your partner ends up as declarer, and the opponents lead the king of diamonds. And again, on this hand, you are in trouble on the opening lead, because you're wide open in diamonds, and the opponents will be able to take 3 tricks there. So what we're going to do on this hand is, again, try and think about how many top tricks we have here, and this may guide you to the right line of play. So have a look at the 2 hands together, and you can, if you like, look at it from South's point of view and work out your losers. So if I do that, I can see I've got 3 diamond losers and some club losers, which maybe I can rough. But the other possibility is to think about how many top tricks you have. So have a little think about how many probable top tricks declarer has here. And in a moment, I'll launch another poll on that question. How many likely top tricks do you think declarer has?
5 in spades.
Yeah, so keep it to yourself, and I'll launch a poll in a moment on it, Jettison. we all appreciate your thinking.
I'm gonna get
Okay, let's share the results with you. And a very interesting response. Very evenly divided between 9, 10, or 11, with 11 just coming top with 38%. So what do we think about it? Well, let's go through the suits one at a time. I'm going to count one probable club trick. Hearts, oh, sorry, no diamonds. Hearts, I'm probably going to make 5 tricks there because we've got 8 hearts. The opponents have got 5. It would take a really bad distribution for me not to make all 5 there. And in spades, I've got at least 4 and quite possibly 5. It depends how the missing spades are divided. It's not quite as certain that we'll make 5 tricks there, but if they're divided reasonably evenly, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they're divided 4, 3, for example, we could make all 5. So if you count 5 spades and 5 hearts and 1 club, that's 11 tricks there. Or even if you don't think you can make all the spades, that's 10 tricks. So yes, I agree with those of you who said you have 11 or 10 tricks. Now, you may have said, well, you can't possibly make 11 tricks because the opponents are going to take 3 diamonds. I don't know if that's what you were going to say.
That was exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. Of course, you can't, you know, if you were in 3 no trump on this hand, it would be even worse because the opponents would cash a number of diamond tricks. Here you're always going to lose 3 diamond tricks, but after that you should have 10 top tricks here. Now, how are we going to play it? What you need to look out for on hands like this is this awkwardness of the ace of spades as a singleton there, and you need to get rid of that blockage, unblock that ace, in order for you to be able to take a total of at least 4 spade tricks. So that's what we need to do on this hand. Unfortunately, the opponents start off taking their diamonds. East overtakes, leads a diamond back, and they take 3 diamond tricks as expected. And then they play a club. And what you have to do here is realize that you expect to make 10 tricks here. So you don't want to risk the club for now. So you need to go up with the ace. Okay. Now, the first thing I like to do on a hand like this is get rid of that ace of spades. Okay. And now I need to think about how I'm going to get to dummy to take the rest of the spades, because I've got all these club losers in my hand. And the only way I can get there now is in hearts. And I have to hope that the hearts divide favorably, and I have to keep the ace of hearts as an entry. So I'm going to plan to draw hearts in 3 rounds here, ending in dummy, so I can now cash the spade. So that's what I'm going to do. Play the king, the queen, and if everyone's followed, I'm now in good shape, and I can take the last, draw the last trump, and cash my top 3 spades, discarding clubs, of course. And then I'll just make the last 2 tricks. So this one again required a certain amount of planning, unblocking in the spade suit so that you can take those spades, and keeping your entry to dummy so that you can get there at the end. Do trump if you're having any questions about this. And let's
So it wouldn't work on BBO because it would be a 4-1 or 5-0 split, obviously.
Yeah, well, that's true. So if you've got a bad break, then it's going to be very tough. Probably your best bet would be to cash as many of the spades as you could, but there's obviously a danger that they would get roughed. Yeah, so with a bad break, you would struggle on this hand. Let's try this one where you open 2 no trump, your partner bids Stayman, and you show your spade suit, and then they bid 3 no trump. And the opponents lead a diamond here. And here in no trump, I'd like you to start off by counting your top tricks. Count your top definite tricks on this one. And in a moment, I'll launch the last poll, which is how many top tricks do you have on this hand? Okay, let's end the poll there. And there's nothing to see here because everyone has gone for 9 tricks, 100%. So Let's see if we agree with that. I've got 1 spade. I've got 4 hearts, but I'll need to be careful about how I take those, so avoid a blockage there. I've got 2 diamonds, and I've got 2 top tricks in clubs. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I agree. You have 9 top tricks here. Of course, we're always trying to make more, and we are hoping to make more from the club suit. If the missing clubs divide 3 and 2, we should be able to make some extra club tricks there, although we'll have to lose 1 club unless we're very lucky with how the clubs are divided. So that's what we're going to do here. We've got to think about establishing the clubs, and we've also got to be thinking about our heart suit so that we don't block the suit. So let's win the first trick here. And it's not a bad idea, given that we expect to lose a club, to lose it right away. So let's maybe play the 10, but that loses. And then they play a diamond back, so let's take the diamond. And now let's try the king of clubs, winning in the shorthand. And if everyone follows, that's 8 clubs gone. And that means that the clubs are now set up. I can now take the remaining clubs. But of course, before I do that, I need to think about unblocking in the heart suit. So this is the time to get rid of the ace and queen, so that when you cross over to dummy with the ace of clubs, you can now take your clubs and your heart. So let's take the 2 clubs. Now we can take the 2 hearts. And finally, we'll take a spade back to our hand. And we'll make 11 tricks on this hand by basically establishing 2 extra club tricks there. But we just had to be careful about doing that as well as unblocking. Okay, let's have a look at this one here. And it's gone 1 no trump, 3 no trump here. And the opponents lead the 6 of spades. And that is a favorable lead as far as declare is concerned, because it means that as long as you play low from dummy, you'll get 2 spade tricks here. So how many top tricks does declarer have? I don't have a poll on this one, but just let's work it out. Well, that lead gives us 2 spade tricks. We've got 2 heart tricks. That's 4. No diamond tricks. And in clubs, we expect to make 5 tricks. So that's going to be our 9 tricks there. And most declarers will not really see that there's any problem on this hand, but there is a problem. Let's suppose we play low from dummy. They play the king and now play a spade back, which knocks out our ace. And we are now going to maybe try to take our 5 club tricks, but the club suit contains a blockage. The club suit has a blockage because if you wish to take 5 clubs here, you have to make sure that you get rid of the 8, the 7, and the 6. In other words, if we start with the ace of clubs, then at this point, the only way to make this contract is if we throw off the 8, the 7, or the 6. If we make a mistake at this point of throwing off the 2 of clubs, which you may do without thinking, then you will probably be defeated, because you need to get rid of that blockage so that you can take the 4 and the 3 after you've taken the ace, king, queen. So yes, throw away your higher clubs, throw away your 7, throw away your 8, and then you'll be able to make your last 2 club tricks. Okay, otherwise you'll get blocked, you'll be stuck in the wrong hand. After that, you probably will just go for your hearts. I mean, you could try finesse, except you're a bit vulnerable in diamonds at this point. So maybe just take your hearts, your spades, and you will probably lose the rest, but just make 9 tricks there. So this one is very hard to spot sometimes, but if you play the 2 on any of the ace, king, or queen, then you can never make all 5 clubs. The suit will block there. Okay, any comments or questions on that? Let's try one more. Sorry, we've just got 2 more to look at. Here's one where you've opened 1 no trump, and they've partner took you to 3 no trump. And this one is slightly tricky because we have quite a lot of tricks, but we have blockages in both hearts and in clubs. So we're hoping to make what, 1 spade, 4 hearts, 1 diamond, and maybe 5 clubs. But both suits have potential blockages. And these kinds of hands take a little bit of thinking about the best way to play them. So let's suppose we win the first trick with the ace. And I think the best plan here is to think about which order should I play the suits in. For example, let's suppose I decide to start on hearts first. I would start with the ace and king of hearts. Then I could cross over to the clubs, taking the ace and king of clubs, and I'd be able to cash the queen and jack of hearts, but I have no entries to the north hand to take the remaining clubs. What I have here is you need to think about your entries outside of these suits, and I've got 1 entry which is in diamonds, the ace of diamonds. So what will work much better is if I start on clubs first. And I think you sometimes need to think about it both ways. Let's suppose I start on clubs first. I'll take the ace and king of clubs. Then I can cross over to the ace and king of hearts. Then I'll be able to cash my remaining clubs. And then I've got the ace of diamonds, so I can get back to my hand. So that's how I'm going to play this hand. Start with the club suit. Okay. Then cross over, get rid of those blockages. Now I can play a club, cash my remaining clubs. And the 6 is also good. And now I can play a diamond back to my hand, so I can take my last 2 hearts. And played that way, I should be able to make 11 tricks on this one, but it does need a bit of careful thinking about. If I change the lead, so this is the same hand, but this time the opponent's lead not a spade but a diamond, now it changes the way I need to play this, because now I don't have an entry to the south hand, but I have an entry to the north hand in spades. So I will use that entry to take my tricks at the end. So now the way to play this is the other way around. Now I'm going to start with hearts first, then cross over to the ace and king of clubs. Now I can take the queen and jack of hearts, and because I've got an entry to the spade, ace of spades, I can now take my remaining club tricks too. So again, making 11 tricks there, but I needed to play it in a different way because I had a different entry card. Okay, so these hands are quite tricky, and I suggest you take a little bit of time, try and play them out both ways and see which way works. But the crux of the matter is thinking about where you've got an entry outside of these 2 block suits. And finally, let's have a look at this hand. This was the one I sent out in email this week, where North opens a club, there's a 1 heart overcall, you bid 2 diamonds, North rebids 2 spades, you bid 2 no trump, and North bids 3 no trump, and the opponent's lead a heart. And here it seems like we've got bags of tricks here. We've got all those club tricks, and we've got a lot of diamond tricks too. But there's a real problem on this hand because of that diamond suit is blocked. Okay, and it makes it very awkward to take all the diamonds and all the clubs. And in fact, this hand can only really be made if the opponents help you a little bit. So if they lead a heart, which is what you expect, you need to let the first one go and hope they continue with hearts. Let the second one go. And then on the third heart, you're going to take that. And then this is your opportunity to play the right card here. And of course, the card you need to throw away is the ace of diamonds. It's called a Jettison play, and it's very spectacular kind of unblocking play. And you may think it's a terrible waste to throw away the ace, but it really isn't, because you're only ever going to make 5 diamonds. And that third heart gives you a chance to take your ace of hearts while you jettison the ace of diamonds. And now it's plain sailing. Now you can take all your diamonds and then take all the remaining clubs, and you'll make 11 tricks on that one. So that is a spectacular kind of unblocking play called a Jettison play. And it's really the only way to make, well, make your contract, make 11 tricks on this one. Anyone have any comments or questions on that? If you don't do that, then it really is a problem. You can never really take both all the diamonds and all the clubs. It really is quite problematic. Okay, we'll end the talk there.